Hello, everyone. My name is Mark from the Misplay Podcast, and you're listening to EternalJourney, everyone's favorite Eternal podcast.
Welcome to EternalJourney, the podcast.
Greetings, all my knights and punta ones out there. You are listening to EternalJourney, the podcast that talks about all things eternal with a focus on limited play. This is episode 99 of the podcast, and today we are going to be walking through a Scion draft. That's right, it is a special event that Direwolf lets us have every once in a while to change up the draft format and have some fun, to the point where even constructed players get in on it. So we're going to take you through that in hopes of getting more of you to do it next time, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But first, I want to welcome my good friends on the show. Coming, I guess everyone's chilly at this point, but feeling better, doing great things. We have Darth_Herman 2. Alex, how are you feeling today, my friend?
What's up, gentlemen? Good evening. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Always glad to have you. Sitting across from him, across the internet, we have our expert brewer and technical pro, John Holio. What's up, Holmes?
That's me. What's up, guys?
It is you, best player in the podcast.
Technical whatever guy.
It's me, John Holio. All right, guys, but a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, you can catch the video version of this podcast as well as other drafts at youtube.com/EternalJourney. If you're a more visual person, we will have the draft up on screen. Then, of course, if not, you can catch us live every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday at twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ. And then, of course, a ongoing thank you to all the people that continue to subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate you all joining the Jedi Order. It means a lot. Lets me know you guys are interested in this content. We keep throwing it out there, and it's always great hanging out with you guys. It really is. I enjoy it. Even if I'm playing absolutely atrociously, I still have a good time because I get to laugh with you guys, or at least know that you guys are laughing at me, either or. But thank you guys so much. All right, that's it. So let's dive into it. So Scion Drafting is essentially a draft format that is a special event that Direwolf happens, where they create a special pool of cards for us to draft out of. All 4 packs are identical as far as what the card list is, but they throw rarity restrictions out the window. What this means is that you can have a pack with multiple rares and legendaries in it. And so it creates an interesting format to draft, because certain legendary cards or rares that maybe didn't see constructive play are viable in this format. And the power level is so high that a lot of windmill slam bombs are actually cards that you end up not taking. So it's extremely fun. And Direwolf, having a couple of developers that are a fan of Magic Cube drafting, taking to Scion Drafting allows to create some very interesting archetypes, so to speak. Inherently, Shadow has been one of the more powerful colors, as well as fire in these formats, but they've done a decent job of slowing down the formats where there's not too many aggro decks to allow more constructed focus players or new players kind of get their fun in and limit the fun police, so to speak. But without further ado, let's go ahead and crack a right into. Oh yeah, my bad. Very important thing. It is a phantom draft, so you do not get to keep the cards, even though you do get prize rewards. Though they did do something special this last go around, where they offered people that went a minimum of 3 wins a alternate art Rizon. That's right. So you did get an option to add a legendary to your deck or your collection, to also include if you went 5 wins or more. I believe, yes, 5 wins or more. 3 and 4 wins got you a premium or a Rizon, alternate art Rizon, and then 5, 6, and 7 wins got you a premium alt art Rizon.
Jedi,
so take that.
I'm pretty sure you just had to enter to get the Rizon.
Really? No. Oh, all right. Well, even better. Shoot. Well, there you go.
It was like easy Rizons, but it was 5 wins for the premium one. That
okay.
Wasn't that easy.
Okay. Cool. Sweet. All right, well, that's it. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. This first pack, yeah, I guess I'll try to buzz through them, and then we'll send it over to you first, John. This one we have Katra, the first seal. And just for the sake of simplicity purposes, and there's a lot of verbiage on these cards, I'm going to go ahead and just name them off, since this kind of typically focuses on more seasoned drafter. Once again, if you guys do want to see the breakdown of all these cards, you can check out the video version. So first off, we have Katra, the first seal, which is the latest 5/3 one that surges. Then we have Jawbone Greatsword, the +5/+2 for 4. Skycrag Silex, Bartholo Beguiling is the 3/3 for 2. Eager Offering, the 0/4, you sack, you draw 2 cards. Winchest Merchant, which is the Justice Merchant. Mavloff Huntress, which is all over all the ladders. Kyrex Coach Driver, one of my favorite tribes. Gunslinger Dinosaur is the 3/3 for 4. Terrazon Echo, another limited all-star, the 1/2 Berserk that gets bigger. Slay is the kill a unit for Argenport, 3 in Argenport. Goliath Flytrap, the 3/5 that summons plunders and silences the next turn. And then Azendel, the Wayfinder. This is the 0/5 Mystic that gives you 1 maximum power, and when another unit goes to the void, you get another maximum power. So, John, what cards are standing out to you here and why?
Sure. So, I guess I'll start off by saying, like, I feel like they actually designed a pretty good Scion format this time, and there was some solid archetypes and stuff. And I did a lot of Scion drafts, so I got a pretty good handle for the format. So I know this is all like after the fact and hindsight and whatever, but we have pretty informed opinion now. So I guess what I'm looking at in this pack is the Jawbone Greatsword, the Winchest Merchant, the Mavloff Huntress, the Goliath Flytrap, and the Slay. I know that's a lot of cards, but so those are like in contention for me. That's 5 cards. They're all single faction except for the Slay, which is like efficient removal that, you know, just says kill a unit, right? So that's why, like, they're all cards that like do something when you play them. 2 of them are removal. I mean, Mavloft is kind of removal too. And like Mavloft just does it all. It's like Ginsu knife card, right? And then, you know, Winchest Merchant being a way into the market is very important in this format, because you're going to end up with a lot of really expensive or, you know, cost prohibitive in some way cards that you're going to want to play, and that helps you both get on the board with a evasive threat while getting in the market. Flytrap overperformed for me in the format. Solid body, 4 drops are hard to come by, and then the you know, both Plunder and the Silence are both very, very good. Greatsword has plenty of targets, and it's not that hard to get the tribute going. Like, these are all, it's really close between all these cards for me. I'm not sure I want to narrow it down too much before I hear what you guys are thinking for the first pick here. So, like, I guess we'll send it over to Alex.
So for me, not being too experienced with these types of drafts, it was like unfair to say at the beginning for experienced drafters. We don't have to say the names, but these are really like constructed cards. You don't really see all these cards in draft, especially
Right.
like the campaign cards, like at all.
Good point. Very good point.
So it's not really for experienced drafters. It's for people that, like, John could like just look at the card and like he knows what it is. I'm like, what the heck are these cards?
A handful
But-
of these aren't even constructed playable, but most of them are very good. Yeah, very strong.
like a lot of them are like, oh, I know what that is just by looking at it. But
Mhm.
so with my limited info on a set, I just take the Slay here, and that might be wrong going into 2 colors. It's just efficient removal. It's going to get rid of any problem that you have. I know it's 2 colors, but I would probably just like, okay, I guess I'm going to look for good Argenport cards, you know, after my good first removal card. But so that's what I'm leaning towards. That or the Greatsword, because that's also removal that gives you a amazing unit if you could pull it off. So those are the 2 cards that I'm looking at the most, I would say.
Yep, and I think you're correct. A couple of things real quick to add. You're right. It was incorrect for me to say experienced drafters. The other thing is that's the other reason why we're doing this after the fact, because I want to encourage and lower the intimidation level of this for other players and newer players that want to do this, as well as drafters. Because like you said, it didn't really appeal to you that much, Alex, but I think it's a lot of fun. And sometimes it's worth doing at least once to just try to figure out a format and see what you could do. And on your note with Slay, it's actually correct removal is actually, I think, more important in cube drafting because you're guaranteed to hit something that matters a lot more versus in limited. There's a chance that you're gonna have to use it on some dinky card, but you're like, all right, this card's gonna kill me. Versus in cube draft, the power level, or I'm sorry, Scion draft, the power level is so high on the average deck that chances of Slay getting a legit valuable unit is very high, and I think very solid. So I think that's a solid pick, even if it is 2 colors. I'm right there with you as far as Jawbone and Slay for me. And then Goliath Flytrap, like John was saying, both parts are very powerful. And once again, going back to the high quality of units in this, Silence sometimes can be just as good as removal in Scion Drafting because some of the cards that are being played, it's the text box that really puts their power level over the top versus just being a dirtily big unit. So the Silence sometimes can really do a number as well. So yeah, I think I'm with you, Alex, and I'd be okay taking the Slay here, first pick or Jawbone. I think I'd probably start off with Jawbone just because I like fire and I like being fun police. John, sending it back over to you.
Yeah, I think it's gonna come down probably between the Flytrap and the Slay for me, and I guess I would go with the Slay to kind of go in between you guys.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. We're on Slay for that one. All right. Pick 2. We have Diabolic Machinations, Gold Plate Goliath, Kilo, Bold Innovator. Gosh, I wanted to so bad. Nahid the Immortal. This is the 7/7 for 6 with triple Xenon requirements. Cabal Standard. Katra the Devoted is the 3/3 Life Force. All your units get +1/+1. Auric Runehammer. Crested Runt is the 1/1 for 1 charge, but amplify 5. Make Terry T 6/5s. Petition. Go grab any power of your choice from your deck. Huru Painting and Changey Stick. Anyone that's a fan of this show knows darn well what Changey Stick does. All right, starting it back off with you, John.
So for me, this is like a very bad pack as far as Scion draft packs go, and I would just take the Petition.
All right. Yeah, that's very solid for sure. Just going with clean fixing. It keeps you the most open, has the highest chance of making your deck. I like that.
Absolutely.
All right. What about you, Alex?
All right, I'm going to probably show my inexperience because John didn't even sniff the card that I was looking at. But if I pick Slay first pick, I'd probably take this Auric Runehammer right now. It's probably wrong,
Okay.
But
okay,
yeah, that's what I would do. And just, okay, these are my colors. But that shows my inexperience of the format and my timidity at this type of draft,
Well, once again, I don't think you're all wrong because actually Collector, someone that's been on the show and a phenomenal Eternal player, is actually quite high on Auric Runehammer. And once again, taking Slay first pick, I think that makes a lot of sense here. It's still removal, could potentially give you a 2-for-1, so I like that. All right, let's go on to our next pick then, and it is going to be, let me fast forward just a scotch. Here we go.
Ooh.
All right.
Hype.
All right, we have Pale Rider's Timepiece, the +4/+4 weapon for 6 that does it all. Stone Scar Leviathan, the 7/7 for 7. Entomb, the enemy player's health becomes 7. Fair Exchange, Lull. Valkyrie Enforcer. Maveloss Huntress again. Unseen Execution. Felm Vow. Declare Victory. Last Chance. And Tessia Omen Shaper. All right, now we're going to send it over to you first, Alex, and tell me what you think in this pack, which I have an idea, but, we'll throw it out there anyways.
Well, I mean, this the Timepiece is a pretty amazing card. I think I would find it very hard to pass that card right here. Yeah, I'm on Timepiece.
Okay, fair enough. All right, John?
Yeah, Timepiece is a very powerful card. It's obviously, the restriction here is the 4 Shadow Influence, but that's like feasible. And like it's not that difficult to get a market going, so you could put this in your market or something. So it's between the Timepiece, Valk Enforcer, and Last Chance for me. Dark Return is also in these packs, and I just prefer that pretty strongly over Last Chance because it doesn't give the units Void Bound, which is definitely relevant. So it's like basically between the Enforcer and the Timepiece to narrow it down further. And like, I mean, the power level of the timepiece is there. It's like it adds to the board while being removal. So I think I would probably like risk it a little bit for the timepiece.
Okay, and we did pick up a petition last pick, so that is complete feasible if we value, potential shadow fixing or primarily
The
shadow.
symbols were in these packs as well.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I'm with on that. I like Enforcer. I like those picks as well, Enforcer and Timepiece. So we'll go with Timepiece here.
Yeah, and those would be my like the cards I'm looking at regardless of what we picked, right? Those are just I think the most powerful cards in the pack.
Yeah, it seems legit. I can get behind that. All right, going into pick 4, we have Leave a Witness. Draw Iceheart is the 6/7 for 6 triple primal, and then Infiltrate. Angelica Praxis Infuser is the 3/8 for 4, but requires double fire and quad time. Another Winchester Merchant, Display of Knowledge, Metal Fang, Amethyst Monument, Amber Monument, and Jolu the Gift Giver, which is the promo that summon. You may give an enemy player one of your other units to steal one of theirs with the same cost or less. All right, John, what do you think here?
I think this one's an easy Winchester Merchant for me. It's probably between that and like I don't know, nothing really. Like, I think it's just a Winchester Merchant for me. That's like a great card for any deck playing Justice in the format.
All right, fair enough. John's locking in Winchester Merchant pretty easily. Alex, what stands out to you in this pack?
I think I'm locking in the same thing. The Amethyst Monument, I think I would consider for my deck anyways if I wasn't taking this merchant. But yeah, the merchant for sure.
Okay. And I actually like Leave a Witness. I know it's 7, but the fact that it's a board wipe that can keep one of your guys alive is pretty powerful, I think. And once again, having a little of hindsight in the format, we know it's a little bit of a slower format. Not too many fun police decks out there. There were plenty of games where my opponent didn't do anything the first couple of turns of the game. So I think that makes Leave a Witness a decent card as well. But yeah, Merchant, pretty solid, I think.
I also don't think that... I think like those Waystone... What was that? What kind of land
Monuments?
was that? The Monument, yeah. I think those were like basically just bad for any
traps,
deck you're playing because like you just want to get to like 7-8 power on curve. Like I ended up playing 19-20 power in some of my decks, like without even thinking twice about it. And so like I think those, the only place you'd put those in your Scion deck would be in a market as a market power. That could also be a unit. So like I don't think I really just like another hindsight thing, Alex. Like no, there's like really no way to be that aggressive where you want those Monuments main deck in the format.
I agree with you completely on that. I was running heavy 19-20 power as well in my decks, and that's a very good point, and something that we did talk about on stream is the fact that Monuments normally would give you extra value, but when you look at the curve of the decks in this format, or your curve, like maybe if you draft a deck where your curve stops at 6, then taking a Monument is fine. But if you have 7-8 drops in your hand or a lot of 6s, having that Monument essentially never being your 6 power can actually pose as can be an issue or a cumbrance to your deck. So definitely keep that in mind. Very good point, John.
Thanks.
Pick 5, Answer the Call, which I always open and see all the time and haven't figured out a way to play it. Maybe I'll brew around that. List, Champion of Linrai, which is the 6/6 for 6 that mills loot either you or your opponent, where they discard their entire hand and draw that many cards. Aramot, Death Incarnate, which is the 5/8 Nightmare for 7, unblockable. And then when one of your opponent's units hit you, it kills it. And then when it hits the opponent, they discard the top 10 cards of their deck. This card is preposterously good. World Pyre, Flash Fry, which is the new card from the campaign, Gust Rider, Pompous Historian, and Emblem of Grodoff. Okay, let's send it over to you, Alex. What cards are you looking at here?
I see a design for this deck coming around, and I pick Aramot. See what I did there?
Nice.
I like it. It's not as cool when I ask you if you see what I did there, but yeah, no, Aramot. Aramot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, John, where are you at?
So if I'm remembering correctly, right, we're basically all Argenport right now. So like because of that, I'm not. I like if not for that, if we were at Fire at all, I would definitely be looking at this Flash Fry. That was a great card for me in the format. But I guess I'm looking at the Aramont as well, or the World Pyre, and it's kind of looking like we might be just Argenport. So I'm not really worrying too much about this World Pyre here. So I think I'd be down to just take this Aramont as my first, finisher. First of a few probably, but we're gonna have plenty of 6, 7, and 8 drops to choose from, and yeah, that's a pretty good one. I don't like the way it doesn't immediately do something because your opponents are gonna be saving removal for your big cards or whatever. So like if that's your third big threat to land, it's probably going to win you the game. But if it's your first one, it's probably just going to die.
I mean, it somewhat does do something right away, right? Because they can't attack you without killing it. So
it is a big guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus even if they have an evasive unit or whatever, like the unit will die after it hits you. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. I think you're completely right. But I agree. The big finishers are kind of interchangeable in Scion Drafting, and that's one of the things you have to learn. But I think Aramont is such a game ender on multiple avenues where I think it's worth playing, and it's easy to cast, right? For the most part, it's only 2 Shadow Influence.
Yeah. That's all things he has going for him. But like, I mean, there's much more powerful finishers for 7 in the format. That's the only downside, really. So I ended up not even playing any Aramonts this time around. Like, I think he was a little better in a previous Scion format they had, but he's still good here.
He was probably 6 still back then.
No, I don't. Did they nerf him? Maybe you're right.
He used to be 6. That's why, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, pick 6. We have Nahid the Immortal again. Memento Mori, which would have gone with your World Pyre. Ditro Vindicated, which is the 5/6 for 6 Justice Ditro. Noxious Wivark. House Alliance. Clan Standard. And Skycrag Silex, which makes me feel like people don't respect fixing enough in this format to have 4 pieces of fixing go by in the same pack. But anywho, send it over to you, John.
Yeah, this is such an easy Dichro Vindicated for me, right? That is premium, 6 drop that will end the game in 5 turns, like from starting life total. It gets regen on its first hit to the player. It's just as good in Scion Draft as it is in our normal draft format.
Nice. Yep. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, at this point I'm just like thanking my lucky stars that I'm in Argenport. Take this big game-ending flyer, 6 drop, and go from there.
Yep. With you guys. We windmill slam Ditro. What'd you say, John? I like the way you said. What is it, Dichro?
I just say Dichro. Yeah.
Me and John have had this conversation. I don't even know what.
I've heard it said 10 ways now, and I've still.
They never give us like the pronunciation or the thing. So. Yeah. Where did I like? Oh, okay. Like, hold on 1 second. There's that one. Did I not spend that much time in the next pick? Lol. Like flew by. Probably windmill slam, whatever the next pick is. I'm trying to like. All right, get that out of the way. Dark Claw Ravager. All right, there we go. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we have Dark Claw Ravager, super cool artwork, bad card. Stone Smelt Dragon, Valkyrie Enforcer, Honor of Claws, Seed of Progress, and Goliath Flytrap. So I think it's pretty easy. I mean, there is a small consideration for Honor of the Claws. It lets us filter through our deck. We have a petition for fixing, but right now, like Enforcer, we've already mentioned why it's good, and it goes with our deck. So I think it's pretty easy Enforcer here.
Definitely.
John, Alex, you guys are both on the same thing?
Yeah, I'm on the same. I'm feeling lucky that we got a chance at another one of these guys because we passed one earlier.
Yeah. Easy Enforcer for me.
Yeah. All right, sweet. Let's move on to the next one.
Really good in the format.
Pick 8. We have Ire Ageless Behemoth, Auric Reclaimer, Huru Vow, Justice Symbol, and Yorja the Tailkeeper. Alex?
I guess I'm on Symbol or this 2 drop. I mean, even these crazy decks need some 2 drops, I guess. And this isn't a horrible one. I don't know, John. Do you need 2-drops?
Only if they're grafters.
Only if they're grafters. So then, if you don't need 2-drops,
Like there is like slight support for this
like
reclaimer.
relics,
There's like the Shavka embrace, like you could like theoretically do some weaponry animation, but it was like very barely supported. Like I wouldn't recommend trying it.
maybe this Huru view then, or I mean Vow is
The
like
vow.
possible fixing. I mean, you do have a couple double green things at this point already. Maybe it is the justice symbol. I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn between the two fixings, and I guess
I would just pick up the vow. I don't think there's any more than two or three justice. And like the 3 and 4 ones are like roll-ins and things like that, and to me those are extremely replaceable for top end, and like I'd rather be open to splashing a very powerful primal card and pick up the vow than like lean heavy into justice.
hold.
Okay. And I think I would have taken the symbol here just because we have the petition and it lets us but I like Roland. I like Svetya. I like the Leave a Witness. So that would have been my inclination.
Yeah,
But we just saw Honor the Claw get passed. Right. So yeah, I think Huruval's the pick here for sure.
Yeah, I would splash an Honor exactly. So yeah.
Why is the scroll there we go. All right, next up, Tuvon Skybreak Giant, Grasping at Shadows, Avoid Death, which is the one shadow the enemy player discards a unit of your choice from their hand, and Ice Sprite. John?
I'd pick up this Grasping at Shadows for sure. Like Tuvon's the best card, but like we're so far away from time, I'm not even really considering that.
Yeah, really nowhere near triple time at this moment. Alex?
I mean, yeah, you have potential for that card that you're pulling out of your void, that unit, just to be really good. And it plays it directly.
Yeah, this is the classic one that like just puts the card in play for 5. Any card at all.
Yeah, so it could be a card that costs more, like, find a way to put your Aramod in the graveyard or something.
Like have him get killed.
And then gives us a discount on our Aramod and our Dichro.
Yeah, it's just, I think for this deck, it could be really good.
All right, Grasp at Shadows is this one. Going to our next pick, we have Substitute, Bring Down, and Azendel the Wayfinder. So, of course, appealing now that we have the Huru Vow, Substitute, and Bring Down are both on the table here, I think. And once again, because like we were talking about how Silence is pretty effective in Scion Drafting, I think Substitute is as well. Being able to turn, for example, an Aramot into a 3/3 dinosaur is really good, as well as the Dichro or Vara and all the other great things. So, John,
yeah,
where are you at?
So, like you just said, those are both definitely in contention. And for me, it's the Bring Down for the simple fact that the Winchest Merchant can grab it.
Oh, yeah. Very good call. Very good call there. What about you, Alex?
What did John pick?
The Bring Down?
Bring Down. Okay. I mean, that's a card that we potentially could splash now. The other one seems good, but I like the ability of just like killing the flyer. Instead of just leaving them with a 3/3, so I think I take the Bring Down.
Yeah, no, solid. All right, Blight Moth and Calibrate, so we take the Blight Moth.
Yes.
And then Diplo Seal is our last pick.
I probably wouldn't even play that Blight Moth, even though we're in Shadow. That's just like that card basically does nothing in Scion Draft.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yeah, it just the minus just doesn't literally do anything.
Yeah, it blocks 2 flyers or whatever.
All right. Pack 2, we have Yushkov Brutal Tyrant, Stone Scar Leviathan, Kilo Bold Innovator, Passage of Eons, Partnership Agreement, Akantha the Huntress, Bait, Avasar Patriarch, Scrapvine Skimmer, Seek Power, Ire, and Sandblast Mage. Alex, what are you looking at in this pack?
Man, I really don't know. I mean, I guess so. This Kilo is, yeah, whatever. It's not really in our colors fully. This costs 9. You guys said it's a Dirtly format, so maybe this Acantha.
Not that
Um,
dirty.
right, not that slow. And then
No, I'm just
the
kidding.
only
Like,
other
yeah.
thing I can think of here is the Seek Power. Those are, I guess.
Yeah. The issue I had, I like Kilo. I think she's fun to build around, and Scion Draft would give you the option to build around her. But the problem is that you run the risk that if you don't draw Kilo, if how bad it hurts your deck if you try to draft a Kilo deck, right? And it is 3 colors to get her down kind of early, etc., etc. Kanta's right on that precipice, like almost playable, but 9 is just a scotch. You really want your deck to be turned on by 7, and we already know how long it takes you to get from from 6 power to 7 power. So I think Akanta is still a little too slow. So yeah, I'm perfectly okay just slamming the Seek Power here and just making sure we hit our power. Facilitates a splash if we go that way. John?
Yeah, it's like the best card in the pack for me is probably like that Yushkov. Like I like that card a lot in the format. But yeah, it's like just the Seek Power for me. Like I don't think we're playing Fire. And it's like the rest of this pack is just very medium as far as I'm concerned. Seek Power definitely makes the deck.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the safest pick and like the highest consistency and reward for our deck. So I am perfectly okay with that. And now if I could just, there we go. All right, next up, pick 14, Jawbone Greatsword, Temporal Distortion, Dara Warrior Poet, Krull, Zumek Occultist, Stone Scar Painting, Smite, Diogo Malaga Elonze, Reality Breaker, Glasshopper, Impound, and Dark Return. All right, John, what are you looking at here?
This is really close between Dark Return and Smite. For me. And like we have one, kind of animate effect and grasping. I'd still kind of prefer Dark Return. It's just so efficient. But I think there's like I think it's probably just the Smite. It's fast. It kills most things you care about. Yeah. And like I don't think we have a ton of removal yet, right? So I think it's the Smite probably gets the edge for me.
Yep. I am right there with you. I am all over the Smite as well. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's between those two for me, and Smite just, gets rid of a lot of stuff. That's annoying. And fast speed. I love that card.
Yeah, that card is really good. Like, it may be one of the best cards out of the new campaign, and great for Constructed, great for Scion Drafting. All right, next up, pick 15, Cerso's Cleaver, Know Thy Enemy, Fierce Protection, which is the primal card, the 5-cost cycle or whatever, and then this one works with Stone Scar Influence, Rakano Silex, Amber Monument, Gust Rider, Crown Watch Standard, Eager Offering, Seat of Fury, and another House Alliance. Alex?
So, I mean, with what you guys were saying about the standards, so are they just like unplayable?
Those are monuments.
They're kind of effectively the same thing. The monuments give you a unit versus the standards being like a pump or a buff.
A spell, right? Okay, yeah. But they're in essence the same thing. Where at 5 they no longer become a power in your deck.
That's correct.
Correct.
So are those power cards unplayable in this format?
No, I think that this Crown Watch Standard is great.
Like, because I would just
even despite what we said, it's like it's such a powerful effect that it's like #worth.
But, and like, because what seems not good is this Argenport card, which is gonna kill a bunch of units that nobody's even playing in this format.
It's gonna kill a grafter that they've already gotten the card out of their market with or whatever, and then it won't play any of your units because none of them are like.
Yeah, they're all like 6 or bigger, yes. Or whatever.
So yeah, that's terrible here.
Yeah, this standard seems like the obvious pick, unless you guys want to go more fixing.
For me, it's between the Silix and the standard, and I would just take the Crown Watch Standard.
Yeah, it's actually interesting because it's I guess since we're already kind of dabbling into Huru a little bit, I would probably consider, because I like whenever I have a rough pick, like I'm not sure, I just take the fixing, right? And there is a consideration for Silex because I do like fire in this format. The way I draft, I think No Miami might have a few more hits than usual because I like 5 drops, especially like since that's the early game. 4 and 5 drops is the early game in Scion. But yeah, I'm with John here. I think that the lifesteal and the +3 just kind of really tips the scale in your favor when you need it.
And like combat tricks are just even less on people's radar than in a normal draft, right?
And that's
Yeah, like
pretty darn
because
trick.
I do think the standards are better than the monuments because the monument units just aren't that impressive in this format versus the tricks, much like what John just said. People aren't expecting them, so they seem to overperform. Like the shadow standard was fantastic for me during this format, but I've always liked that. Like double quick draw just seems so good.
Indeed.
All right, so we'll take Crown Watch standard here. So we have Endra, Champion of Shavka. We have Big Icaria, Woot Woot. We have Express Route, which is the Xenon removal. Permafrost, Time Flies, Clock Roach, Lieutenant Relia, Jex Choice, and Wyatt Junk Collector. So a lot of stuff going on here. John, what's is any of this standing out to you?
Yeah, I'm looking at this Permafrost. I think the most powerful card is definitely Icaria, but yeah, we're super far from the triple fire. I'm liking our Argenport looking deck, and we have the tools to possibly splash this perma already. So I think that's good enough for me.
I think I am also on perma.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as well. Like Permafrost is just removal, and John, you said it. Too much fire to play Icaria. Nothing else stands out to me. All right. Going into pick 17, we have Zhou, the Endless Horde, Vishni, Lothrai, Highblood, Copperhall Bailiff, Lightning Storm, Garrett, Throne Guardian, Argenport Insignia, Huru Painting, and Amethyst Monument. All right, Alex, what's standing out to you here?
This painting, I think. We just took the permafrost. That's more fixing. I like it. I mean, solid. The bailiff jumps out at me, but that's a card that kind of hoses aggressive decks.
Right.
And if these decks aren't going to be aggressive, then it's the fixing for me, especially if that 4/4 unit's going to be, underclass super fast with the monument. And I don't like things that don't block, so that guy's out, the 3/3. Yeah, I think it's the painting.
Solid. All right. And John?
Yeah, it's between the Huru Painting and the Insignia. Like because we just picked up Permafrost, I think the painting gets the edge, right? I don't mind fixing in our primary colors because we're still considering playing that what is that big weapon, the Witching Hour weapon or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I guess.
Yeah.
But I also don't mind like that going by the wayside or ending up in the market still. And I think being able to play just a Permafrost is probably a little better. I'm definitely not looking at like Vishni here or anything. Like we've got like the Valk Enforcers, and I think that's just better at the 3 slot. We're not too concerned about stealing the Void and all that, and making the tokens is very medium here. There's not a lot of ways to sack them or get value from that. So definitely the painting for me.
All right. I agree with you guys, but I think because of the timepiece, I would lean towards Insignia here because it gives us both our primary colors, and anything that makes shadow goes up in value. So I would lean towards Insignia. Plus, we have Petition that makes probably both of these cards a little bit better as well. But we'll take painting here. I'm with you guys on that. But yeah, I think because of timepiece still being on the table, I would probably lean a little more towards anything that creates shadow for us. Just for that inherent value, I guess. Go. All right, next up, pick 18. We have Raging Firemaw, Sirox, Insatiable Seeker, Stray into Shadow, Time Etchings, Justice Symbol, Cobalt Waystone, and Xenon Banner. I don't think we want Stray into Shadows, so I think it's probably just the Justice Symbol, John. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. That Raging Fire Maw, that unit was really good in the format, but again, like, yeah, fire, not so much. So yeah, I'm with you on the justice symbol here.
And then Alex, I'm assuming same thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into the next one. Yeah, some of these picks are, especially when you're not trying to be too greedy, you definitely have some options. Okay, End of Days, Purge Driver, Crest of Fury, Flash Fry, Cobalt Monument, Emerald Monument. All right, John, what do you think of these?
Yeah, I think we have justice market access, so I think I'm looking at this Purge Driver. It's probably main deckable if we're short on playables as well, because it is a unit and it'll probably get some action in the format. So I'm definitely down to play that.
Yeah, it seems like great market or even playable with the amount of multicolored things I've seen so far. So I'm on Purge Driver as well.
All right, yeah. Well, we already took up the Monument Gem Blade is not as good as Lifesteal. Just a +3/+3 is not as good as +3/+3 in Lifesteal. So yep, Purge Driver it is, and we don't want to be splashing Cobalt Monument. It's still easy. It's not a bad splash, but once again, like 4/4 Flyer is probably the best unit we could get if I'm being honest. But I don't think it's still good enough. Like once again, especially with our curve looking the way it's looking. Like, if we can make all our splashes be dual faction, then all the better. And, geez, these last picks go by so fast. If I can get there. There we go. Got it. There. All right. Quicksilver Mirror, Declare Victory, Display of Knowledge, Praxis Vow, and Granite Waystone. Yeah, there's nothing here for us. We just take the vow and call it a day, I guess. Sure. Just potentially. Let me get that. What did we do? We took Purge Driver. Let me add that to our pool real quick. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother adding that. So I went through the trouble of grabbing a. There we go. All right, next up we have Fearless Crescendo, Disjunction, Tiana the Mender, which is the 2/2 for 3. At the end of each turn, draw each non-weapon relic that went to your void. Summon, you may silence a relic, and Bren, Chronicler of Aegis. All right, John, so Fearless Crescendo or Tiana the Mender?
That's actually kind of close. A lot of our... Normally, I'd probably just slam a Crescendo, but, like, we don't have any attachment relic interaction yet, and it's actually pretty important to have. And we already have a way into a Justice Market, so, man, I think we might just need to pick up this Tiana just in case. I don't want to get to the end and not be able to play it. And like, I know like the ones I'm thinking of that we'll have easy access to like are in Fire, right? So we're like in Argenport. I'm trying to think of what all was available for attachment hate, and there wasn't a lot, right?
Not off the top of my head, no. Of note, right now, Crescendo would get Valkyrie Enforcer and Slay, and then Blight Moth, lol.
Yeah, it would. Right now, it has no targets, but like, I don't care as much. I just like the effect anyway of Crescendo. Like, I'm sure we can
giving
find
a unit flying. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find something for it, but
Airmont is unblockable and Daigoro has flying. So
exactly. Right now we don't care about it anyway. Yeah. So I think it's just Tiana.
Alex?
I think it's a great market card, Tiana. I like it's gonna deal with something.
Silence is a relic, right?
Yeah. So it's like fully going to deal with something that you have no other way of dealing with. Unfortunately, it's a good card that you can get with the Crescendo, but yeah, I think I take Tiana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in most cases, like silencing relic is going to pretty much remove it. All right, pick 22, Refraction, Auric Reclaimer, and Bubble Shield. So all these could potentially make the deck in some form or fashion. Alex, what are you looking at here?
So, this Bubble Shield, I guess. I mean, it saves one of your crazy units that your opponent has been saving the removal for, and it's pretty cheap to keep up. So I think I like Bubble Shield.
And if they kill the unit, we have the Grasping Shadows to bring it back with another Aegis, so there's that as well. John?
Yeah, I'm on Bubble Shield here as well, and I don't think it's that close. Like if that refraction was a single primal, I'd consider it. But just Bubble Shield. That costing one, and you know that they're gonna have some targeted removal, or I mean even just board wipes. It still protects against that. Like yeah, I think it's definitely worth running in the format.
All right, and then yeah, next one is Combre. What was it? Combre Banner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Praxis Banner. So more fixing for stuff we don't have. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no joke. Let me make sure I add all this stuff to the... I'm building the deck in Eternal Warcry as we're drafting it. So we can... yeah, so let's do... Now that that's the end of that pack, let's go over the deck real quick before going to pack 2. Or pack 3, I'm sorry. We have Bubble Shield, Permafrost, Seek Power, Bring Down, Petition, Smite, Blightmoth, Slay, Tiana, Valkyrie Enforcer, Windchest Merchant, Purge Driver, Grasping at Shadows, Dicro Vindicated, Pale Rider's Timepiece, Aramont Death's Incarnate, Combre Banner, Crown Watch Standard, Diplomatic Seal, Huru Painting, Huru Vow, Justice Symbol, and Praxis Banner. So we're very firmly in Argenport with a light primal potential splash here. Going into pack 3, pick 25, Lay Siege, Vodocon Temple Speaker, Bandit Queen, Jek the Bounty Hunter, Defile, Crack the Earth, Voice of the Speaker, Emblem of Shavka, Seat of Mystery, Argenport Insignia, Huru Vow, and just a regular Jotun. All right, so it looks to me like we're back in the old Argenport Insignia versus Huru Vow pick. Alex, let's send it over to you first. Is there anything else that stands out to you?
I guess the Lay Siege, but this doesn't really seem like... I mean, it's gonna potentially be a... You know, you use it as a Bubble Shield type card, right? To save your unit.
Mm-hmm. And there's a very good point to that, because Obliterate and Flash Fry are two very big removal spells in this format. So that's definitely something to consider for sure.
Defile is normally like a way better card than this. There's quite a few 3-drops that I wouldn't mind killing with it, but yeah, I think it's between these two powers. And I guess since we took the Vow last time, take the Insignia this time. Maybe. Yeah, I think Insignia.
Okay. John.
Yeah, like right. Defile is normally much better, like you guys said, and I just don't think that our deck can really make great use of Lay Siege. It'd be better if we were playing like, you know, maybe Combre or something with more just general bigger units that, you know, maybe we're attacking with and then can do a surprise block. Like wherever a lot of our earlier game is flyers and stuff, so that card's not looking great for us. So yeah, I think I'm on the same power as Alex there.
Yep, me too. So we'll take Insignia here. Sweet, I like that. Yeah, I think so, especially with Petition. Like that means we kind of have 2 vows, so, and we could just go ahead and get a straight Justice Primal if we need to. Next up we have pick 26, Southwind Herald. At this point I'll just call off the cards that may make the deck.
Okay.
Last word, lol. Stormhalt Knife, Crest of Glory, Smite, Slay, and Battle Bear. Man, gosh, I really wish we could take all 3 of these cards. John, go ahead and what are the things you're looking at here and why?
I'm only looking at the Smite and the Slay, and like I know it costs 1 more and it's not fast, but just because it you know, there are some pesky 7/7s and 6/6s or whatever that don't have different attack and health, so I'm gonna take that Slay.
I want the second Slay as well.
Yep, yeah, I'm right there with you. I like Smite. I like it a lot. Fast is cool, and then of course you can block to kind of adjust it, but yeah, Slay just clean. It's in our colors and it just gets rid of absolutely everything. So yeah, I'm with you guys. I think Slay is just the place to be here. All right, next up we have pick 27. Let's see. Kilo. Learn the truth, lol. and Blight Moth and Challenge by Law. So yeah, just Challenge by Law here.
Yeah, it's the only thing really in contention.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
removal and silences everything.
I was about to say, like, I guess, like, there's like a slight consideration for Sodi, because it's like that's kind of a powerful card, right? Um, it's just the double primal, but that's not a huge deal either. So I don't know. Like, there's a chance that, like, if left to my own devices, I take this Sodi.
Like, our fixing is there, and Sodi is good, but man, like, Challenge by Law can just sometimes be a board wipe, right? You get rid of the thing you can't deal with, and silence because some of the other stuff does work.
It's a good market card too.
I would put it in the market, which we have market access, so I'm super down to play Challenge.
Yeah, I'm super down in the market as well for that.
Yeah, I think it's just good challenge there. All right, some stuff here.
Ooh.
End of the line. Let's see. Fall Short, Dark Return, and then just because Combre Banner and Traveler's Market. Alex, I think it's between Fall Short and Dark Return, no?
Agreed. How many units do we have at this point?
Let me see. Not counting Blight Moth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units.
We don't really have really many units. I mean, there's no unit in here, but I still think I take this Dark Return. I think we have a lot of removal, and Fall Short's, conditional. So I think I like the return.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I'm on Dank Return. It's kind of a unit.
All right. I think it was close. I like both of these cards. The thing about Fall Shore is it does say battle skills. So even though a lot of these cards have a bunch of text on them, half the time it's not a battle skill, so you could still hit things. But yeah, I'm with you guys. Plus our units are pretty good as well. So fair enough. We'll go ahead and take the Dark Return here for pick 28. Next one we have Talir. Never mind. There's Carve It and Shadow Symbol. Yeah, John, what I think this is close. Carve It's really solid, close. But Symbol also lets us play our with a petition also lets us play our timepiece. So what are you thinking?
Just like, because if we had like 10 units, I'd say it's closer, but no, it's definitely Carve It for me. I like Carve It in the format just fine. It's a good top end unit.
What about you, Alex?
I agreed. I'm with Carve It.
All right, we'll slam Carve It here.
But it is. I mean, it is close with that petition. I mean, with the symbol.
Okay, so we got slightly rewarded for our discipline here. There is a Justice Etchings, but there's also a Smite, and I think we just take another Smite, right? Make sure we could do the old Argenport special and keep everything off the board. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, man, there's so much removal in this deck. Pretty darn good.
That's how you win games, like easy mode. Like, it just
especially when the opponent's like being greedy and they're only playing like one thing per turn. You land something, kill it, and just ride that to victory or whatever.
Yeah, when we're playing like evasive 3-drops with like, clean removal for 2, like that lets you get on the board while killing things. Like that's how you like tempo people out in Scion Draft.
This pack doesn't really have too much for us. Almost nothing. There's a Clutch Mate in Primal for one Primal, and there's a Reweave, which, looking at our deck right now, we don't have a lot of. Actually, we have no overlap with our units. So I guess we just take Clutch Mate here. Do you want to take Runecaller maybe? Or Skycry? Like I don't think any of this is making the deck, honestly.
No, we got there with the attachment hate already, like, so I'm not worried about Runecaller Splash. Like, yeah, Clutchmate, that's a playable card for us. Only single primal to play and make a copy of one of our of our best unit in play. I think costing 4 is probably fine. Right, like I think that's good.
Yeah, even if it's not a dinosaur.
What do we got here? Evolving Olzile, Nectar of Unlife, Stonescar Vow, Reweave, and Torch. So we just slam Nectar here, right?
Yeah, Nectar of Unluck. Yep.
Definitely.
Gets rid of an early play if we need it to, if they are some kind of aggressive deck, and then later in the game we can get back a solid card with it, or two maybe if we flood. Yeah, pretty solid here. Let's see. Delos Awakening, Fire Etchings, Learn the Truth, and Memento, so we're not taking anything here.
Nothing.
Let's go to the next. Oops. One. See, I think the next ones don't have anything for Cabal Standard. There we go.
Yeah, take a standard.
Yeah. Cabal Tactic, once again, it'll let us, it's worth it. Like, here the juice is worth the squeeze, right? Like, this being able to attack freely, and in most cases you're going to win combat, I think is really solid. The other consideration, Rakano Insignia and Friends in Low Places, neither of which that we really particularly care about. Let's see if I can get the last two picks.
With two
Blazing Salvo
in deck building, I'd basically consider like the two of those together to be one power. Like, plan on putting one depleted and using one as a trick.
Pick 35, Salvo or Tamaris the Geomancer. We're not playing either of those, so we skip that. And the last pick is a Pending Execution, which
that's not playable, right? Like,
yeah, it's not. Like, I don't.
No.
I'm not sure. Like, I guess you combo it with Permafrost, but then why? I mean, I guess that we're switching over to Constructed, but I feel like it would have to be a curse deck, and then you're still kind of using two cards to kill one. Whatever. Yeah. Anywho,
it's like one of the only cards that I'm like, why did they put this in these packs? Come on, man.
All right. Pick 37. Caleb let's see. Corrupt, which is the fast spell for 2 shadow, negate an enemy spell played on you or one of your units, then steal it and play it from the void. Reweave. Yeah, and I guess Eben. No, we're nowhere near time. Yep. So we just take Corrupt here, right? Or Cobalt Waystone.
I mean, I don't think that I play any card from this pack really in our deck right now.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother adding it. I don't think so either.
No, right, let's go to maybe Corrupt. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we take, but I don't think we're playing it either. I mean, it could be potent in this format because some people may be greedy with the units and only have 1 or 2 removal spells. And if we land a Ditro, a Carvet, or an Airmont, and then have Corrupt up, like, there's probably not going to lose that game. But anywho, Emblem of Kodosh, Burglarize, Clan Standard, Film Vow, and Colony Matron. I think because we're low on units, I would just take the Matron here over the Burglarize and the Emblem. We're not going to be decimating the Emblem very often. I like how they built this format. I like how they have power there that is a skill check for sure, right? It's like, if you want to be greedy and play a bunch of 7-8 drops, do you really want all these quote-unquote value power or not, you know? Mm-hmm. So I like it. Yeah, I'm on Colony Matron here. Gums up the board. It's a unit that's not too expensive, but is still pretty effective. Gets you back if you're falling behind because of the Lifesteal Bats. So I like that over probably the Vow, but that's probably the next higher pick over Burglarize. John?
Yeah, it's between the Vow and the Matron for me. Like, that Matron, like, that's like such a low impact unit for this format. But it can definitely like buy you some time. But that is just not what I'm trying to do. So like, I don't know if it's too greedy, but I'd probably just take the Vow and hope to get better units going forward. But man, this is like last pack territory, so that's probably wrong. Yeah, we just need this Matron.
Yeah, like we would literally, the only thing we have at 5 is Grasping Shadows.
Yeah, we just need the Matron, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think this pack 4 is definitely where you need to really lock down and pick up any slack that you might have had earlier, right? Based on greed or whatnot. Alex, what about you? Vow or Matron or Burglarize?
Yeah, the Matron it buys you a lot of time. That's an annoying card to fight through. I mean, and we're short on units. I just take the Matron. I think we should take it.
Yep. Ooh, all right. So here we are looking at a Pull into Nightmares, which is the shadow play unit with cost 5 or less from your void. It gets a +1/+1. The other 2 colors are Praxis, so we're not worried about that. End of the line, 6, whatever. Plate Grafter, Defiance, and Argentport Banner. Actually, yeah, those are the cards. I don't even know why I said the other one. So yeah, Defiance, Plate Grafter, and Argentport Banner. Alex, what are you looking at here?
I think it's close, but I think I like this grafter. I like more green access.
Okay, John.
Yeah, I mean, we're low on units still, and Plate Grafter is great. So like 2-drop, and it gets us on the market. It helps us, like, getting to the market early and often means that you get to. It just helps you play your game, right? We're gonna put like some form of power in the market, so if we don't mind getting power the first time and getting a powerful unit later or whatever. It's fine.
Mhm.
The grafters are all good here.
Yep. Roland the Iron Fist, which is OG Roland, and Makar's Quiver, as well as a Rindo's Choice, kill a multi-faction enemy unit or negate a multi-faction enemy spell. John, I have these three. Which one do you think is going to make the deck?
I think we just need this Roland.
Okay, yeah, we have 2 justice access to the market, or 2, yeah. I mean, I think it's solid. I don't think we have enough to make Makar's Quiver work. It doesn't kill a lot of things. There's a Rinda's Choice. If it wasn't a splash, I would definitely consider it as decent
good
removal.
on removal too. Like,
yeah,
our deck has a lot of good removal.
Mm-hmm. All right, Alex, what about you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. I apologize.
No, I mean, I was just going to reiterate again, like, we just kind of need units. Even though this one is, like, best in the market, like, there's a chance it's main decked.
Right, if we don't need units, maybe this Quiver. But, I mean, it's not a horrible unit. It just costs 3 green, but still, Roland, I agree.
Yeah, the only problem is being a little light on units also means that the pump effect isn't going to be as potent as it could potentially be as well. So there's that.
Yeah.
Waystone Gate, no. MPI, John, MPI. Near perfect imitation, devastating setback, and justice etchings. John?
I think we just take the justice etchings here, and I don't really think it's close.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't think devastating setback hits enough things for it to be relevant.
No. Exploit was in the format, and I would play that for sure, but nah, not setback.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Alex, you agree?
Is there anything to that, like, flashing this War Howler?
Like,
I don't think so.
Units you draw get killer. Like, the fact that this thing has reckless and
it has reckless, so
health,
it's gonna.
The 3 health means, like, everyone that's playing fire has like 2 or 3 torches or flash fries in their deck. Like, it's trivial to kill something with 3 health. And the fact that you have to draw the units, and it's just too much setup to be worth it, I feel like, in the format.
Yeah, it's just etchings.
Here we are looking at Tell It, Queen's Hand, and Fall Short. This is close. Our curve's starting to get a little on the high side. Alex, what do you think? Removal or a game ender?
7-drop? We have a lot of 7s, right? No, we don't. Just 2. Is it too many big things?
We have the only 7 we have is Airmont, and then we have Challenge by Law, Dicro, and Carvet, and Pale Rider's Timepiece at 6, and then Roland at 8. So we have 4 6-drops, a 7, and an 8.
I mean, it kind of goes with the theme of our not very many unit deck, attacking with just one of them. Yeah, sure, tell it.
Okay,
at least
John?
That's my
Tell it like it is.
Yeah, this guy ends games pretty quickly, and it definitely allows our few cheaper units to kind of
we have like evasive,
level up.
Like our Winchester Merchant, Valken Forces, those like go so good with Tell It. Like, perfect.
Yep. Ooh. Necessary Measures, which is the 4 double justice, kill an enemy unit if it is their only unit. Whatever. Akaria is here. Big Akaria First Reaper, 5/5 for 6. With flying and deadly, kill enemy unit or site when it comes into play. Entomb, yada yada. It has 6 pips, but I mean we're Argent Port, we're already playing Timepiece, so yeah, I think we just slam Akaria here over Necessary Measures, right?
Yeah, Akaria is sweet. I don't care if we can't play it until turn 10 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the upside. It's
That's
just
a good unit.
Yep. I think it definitely will make me want to question our Huru, like our Primal Splash for sure, having now 2 cards with 6 influence, but we'll see. Oh shoot. Did we just fly through the last couple of picks? Gosh darn it. Now I won't pick the one that... There we go. Okay. All right, we are looking at another Bring Down and a Malediction, John.
I don't think I want to play Maledictions format. I guess I just pick another Bring Down.
Alex?
Yep. Follow John's
All
lead
right.
on that.
Yeah, same thing. Malediction just isn't quite hit enough. Whatever. Emerald Monument and Blight Moss, so I don't think we're taking either of these, right? I mean, we'll take, I guess...
I mean, we'll just take the Blight Moth, I guess.
Yeah, for a unit, which may or may not make the deck.
Hopefully we don't need it.
What about the monument in the market, or is there too many good cards already?
I think the market's pretty packed.
There's a consideration for that as well. We have 3 ways to access the market.
Yeah, there's a consideration for that.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Let's just take it.
Yeah. Let me adjust that on a thing real quick.
I mean, the Blight Moth's not going in for sure, right? The power.
Yeah, no, you're right, and you can't.
Our unit count is kind of low, but I think we got there.
I think we have another Blight Moth already if we want to play one or need
We
to.
do.
Yeah, John was just talking about. I mean, it still blocks 2 units in the air, so there's that for sure. Let's see here. Rip Knife Assassin, Substitute Reclaimer. We just take Rip Knife, yes?
Yeah. That's the 2-drop that can actually kill something.
Yeah, really solid through and through. Let's see. Boom. Ooh, all right. There's a pick. Dark Purveyor or Justice Symbol?
If we need the unit, I guess the Purveyor is kind of a body. And if we don't,
The only unit, 4 we have is Purge Driver.
We probably need the unit.
What are you leaning towards, Alex?
I'm just reading Purveyor. I don't know what that does.
Yeah, it's one of the
got a lot of
new
text
cards
from the new campaign.
A lot of text that goes in 4 different decks.
Right. It does do a summon buff a unit in play permanently, their attack based on how many you have in your void. That's definitely relevant. The rest of the text is when you do spell damage, make a granite mender or something.
Which is not really relevant, but I still like whatever. I take the 5/3. I play 4/3s for 4, whatever. I'll play a 5/3, sure.
Yep. And then a Sacred Shield that we're not playing as our last pick. All right. So with that, my friends, what's up?
So we're Argenport maybe splashing Primal?
Yeah, I'll show you guys in a second.
I like the idea of playing the timepiece.
Mm-hmm.
Because we never got any shadow market, unfortunately.
Yeah, so let me save this, I think.
We never passed on any either.
No shadow market access was on offer.
And then, all right.
That Shadow Grafter is man. Would have loved to have one of those.
Here we go. Can you guys see that?
Definitely.
Yeah, all right. So we can cut the banner. So the question is, do we want to run Primal running Ikaria and Timepiece? And I feel like the answer is no. We have good fixing, but it would just be Permafrost, a Clutch Mate. I mean, I guess Clutch Mate on Ikaria is pretty sick, and Carvet and Aramot, but I don't know. And then we want to run more Justice Sources for Tell It, just to be able to grab them out of our deck. I don't know. What do you guys think, John?
Can we see what the unit versus spell count is and stuff on this breakdown at all?
Yeah, let me switch it. Let me switch the view over to detail. We have...
What website are you on, Jedi?
I am on EternalWarcry.com. That's right. Brought to you by Stever Cakes, a member of the community that funds this as a passion project. Absolutely phenomenal dude. Definitely check it out. It has a deck list, draft simulators, all the good stuff.
Yeah, this website's awesome.
Do grouped the view grouped,
There you go.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. 15 units as is with
Okay.
That's
10
not. It seems
spells.
like pretty good. It's a control deck, so let's see.
Yeah, we like got there. I
I
think.
think we did too.
Well, all right. We're keeping Blight Moth then.
I think we can
No.
go down. I think.
Yeah, I would cut it. We have like multiple ways to, recur units as well. So I'm down to be a little low.
Okay. So all right. So we're keeping Primal then?
I don't know. You like clicked off the view that I was using.
All right. Hold on. All right. So let me move this to the market, I guess, so we still have it, and then the bring downs
Tayana.
The bring downs are the market, right?
Yeah, let's do a bring down in the market, like if anywhere. Like we're still considering whether we're playing primal.
Yeah.
I just want to see like what it would look like without the primal.
Yeah, I'm just cleaning things up. Give me a second. Clean that up. Insignia. Where's the other seals? We're not playing. And Praxis Banner. We're not playing. Okay. Oh yeah, and Blight Moth. I'll put that in the other one. All right. We go back to grouped.
Yeah.
So 14 units. All right, I need to save this to go back.
Oh.
Yeah, it's slightly awkward. Okay.
Okay, so
as is, as far as fixing goes, we have a Huru painting, a Huru vow, and then petition. So 3 pieces of fixing.
There's a Seek Power as well. That's fixing.
Oh yeah, Seek Power. I'm sorry. There you go. Yeah, so 4 for primal.
That's not bad for 2 cards, just as it is.
no,
Right,
the only reason it's like even remotely bad is because of the shadow requirements we have.
Yeah, correct. If we didn't have something that was so heavy on shadow, then I'd be 100% fine with this.
Right.
100%. But we have something that has, I believe, 4. Are they both 6? Where is it?
No,
Timepiece,
yeah,
4, and then
4
one
and
that's
6.
6. Yeah.
Like the timepiece, like 4 is definitely reasonable. Like that Icaria is that's gonna be nearly impossible to play.
So the question is Icaria more powerful than Clutchmate and Permafrost?
Not really.
I mean, I guess there's a world where we can also, once we hit our primal, we can go grab Seek Power and petition to grab more shadow. So there's that, right? What do you think? What are you thinking, Alex?
Man, I think most games getting the 6 is going to be tough.
Okay.
I think it's going to be harder to get to 6 shadow than it is
Mhm.
to splash those 2 primal
Mhm.
cards, which are pretty powerful.
Mhm.
So I think maybe we can cut Aramont.
Icaria.
Sorry, Icaria, not Aramont.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't even have Plunder either. Do we just keep her in there as fodder? No, I guess we're at 36 cards with 7 power.
I mean,
Okay. So cut Icaria then?
we can play it from the graveyard. Do we have any way to get it in the graveyard?
We
Not
don't.
really.
No. So let's see. Let's see what the deck looks like without her. We'll move her to the market, or the whatever.
Like if it's between playing, our 21st power or like 20 power in a card or whatever, I would play Icaria and just, if I happen to be able to play her in a game, cool. If not, just put her in the market or whatever and get something else out.
All right, Justice, and then we do have to play 1 primal symbol since it's vow and petition, and then.
So this has 3 ways of getting power out of the deck, right?
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
We still run probably 18 power, right?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. John, do we go to 19?
Probably. Yeah, if we're playing Tellet main or Tellet and Roland main deck and everything, 19 probably minimum.
Yeah, and I think because we have etchings, we probably lean, and Tellet and Purge Drive, we lean a little more towards No, I guess we still do shadow, right? Lean towards shadow because of timepiece.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close in the middle, and I think we do want to just slightly lean towards shadow.
All right, that puts us at 47 cards. So we can move 2 cards to the market. Move Tiana, I guess.
The challenge by law
Tiana and Purge Driver. I mean, those are our units, but
Yeah, challenge
about-
by law.
or-
I would put in the market probably.
yeah, like challenge by law in the market.
what about Challenge and Rollant? And that way we still keep our curve kind of low.
I like it.
Yep.
And then
put-
definitely like at least some sort of market power. Probably just a justice sigil.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be, right? It's the only thing we can get out of it.
I mean, you can put one of those we drafted in there, but I don't think there's one that's better in the market for us.
Put that, and then
I'm remembering what we got.
Rollant.
Oh right, no, we were gonna put that gem blade in the market, right?
Oh yeah.
As
Good
our-
call.
as
Good
our
call.
market
Yeah.
power.
Yep. Let's do that.
And like we can
Can
put
go-
that and a justice sigil if we don't have if we're not hurting for market slots. Might as well have both.
With the market, and then what was the other thing? Challenge by law. All right, so that, let's see. What do we have? 46. What did I not? I took out the challenge. Took out. What am I missing? Oh, did I put challenge back in the deck? Oh, I did. Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. All right. So now we save it. See what the deck looks like. And now we're looking at 19 power, a timepiece, bubble shields, 2 smite, a dark return, a justice etchings, a seek power, nectar of unlife, petition, 2 slays, a clutch mate, a grasping of shadows, a permafrost, and then units consist of plate grafter, rip knife assassin, Tiana the mender, Valkyrie Enforcer, Winchester Merchant, Dark Purveyor, Purge Driver, Colony Matron, Dicro Vindicated, Carvet Solar Dragon, Aramont Death Incarnate, and Tell It, with a market of Bring Down Emerald Monument, Challenge by Law, and Rollant the Iron Fist. Seems solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I
looks
think this
fun.
would do well.
Sweet. Nope, sadly we won't be able. Maybe I could draft it this weekend and do a simulated Scion draft and see how it goes. Sweet. I guess I will add this to the show notes. I'll leave that there. But yeah, that was fun, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah, I definitely think you need to try it at least once or twice with you, Alex, the next time it comes around.
Yeah, next time for sure. Just
Next up is Constructed Corner, and this one is brought to us by our very own John Holio. This is a Throne Rakano list exploiting the advantages of Elevator. That's right, Kyoju Elevator. There we go. And I'm going to leave that in. And this thing is without including campaign, it is 55,350 shiftstone. Of course, I'm not going to read every card out because we've just come to realize that it hasn't really appealed to people, and it's just easier to check the deck list. That will be in the show notes down below, so you guys can check that out. But without further ado, John, why don't you go ahead and break down this deck for us?
All right, so this is it's like a kind of a classic Rakano mid-range deck that kind of leans into the whole Kira strategy. There's a little differences than kind of what you'd normally see in that we're running a red card in our market in Kyoju Elevator, whereas it's normally just a Justice market. So in order to facilitate that, we're playing Blazing Salvo, which can access 2 market cards, the Vank Blade and the Kyoju Elevator. And then the Salvo also works with our early units like Hojan and Kira, in that you can target those and draw a card or play do the Hojan's Renown ability. So it has that synergy going, and it also just can be removal. So it's just kind of good in the deck playing Salvo, and it gives you a little more market access at the same time. And so when we're playing Kyoju Elevator as like a way to stay in the game, and draw cards and actually kill people, it means you need to have a mix of Valks and non-Valk units in the deck. So we're playing, a good mix of the two. Um, you only need one in play for that to work. So occasionally, where you might normally make a trade, you might, you know, want to make sure that unit stays in play instead when you're playing this deck, just because having a Valkyrie in play makes the elevator work, and without it, you can't play units off the top of your deck. And the thing with the elevator is when you do play the unit off the deck, it has charge, which is extremely powerful. Like there can be board states where you just have like a Hojan or a Kira on top of your deck, or a Jack or something, and playing that and then being able to attack with it right then and there is massive and can just win you the game sometimes out of nowhere. So like that's kind of one of the sneaky good things about the elevator. Like not only is it kind of card advantage, but it can actually help you kill people out of nowhere. And so we're playing like the usual Hojin, Ikaria, Kira early game, and then like the late game is big Ikaria and Svetya, and then some mid-range units that either access the market or do some kind of removal stuff in Jack and Valk Enforcer. Now, obviously, it's a Kira deck, so we're trying to get to 8 Justice to make full use of Kira's abilities. So the deck very heavily leans into Justice, but there's a lot of dual faction powers because we're also trying to play Jack. And then because of that, there's also a seat in the market, which is a lot of times the first market grab. So yeah, this is it's a greedy deck on the influence with the Jack and the Kira, but I don't know. I find that the number of games I'm able to actually play Jack even on curve is actually pretty high, and you don't mind playing Jack a little off curve anyway, so it's really not a big deal as far as when you're playing the games. Now, otherwise, it just kind of otherwise plays out like any other mid-rangey Rakano deck. You commit to the board, you want to be the one attacking, that sort of thing. We're also playing Lord Sire's Tower as a site for a little site value, and it has a lot of actually synergy in the deck as well. And then classic Kira cards that go along with Kira, like Bubble Shield and Silver Blade Intrusion, as well as Justice Etchings in the deck. So it's a little weird having the Justice Etchings, with a split market, but I think the elevator is worth it. And I don't know, if you kind of force yourself, if you try the deck to grab and play the elevator when you're otherwise thinking like, man, maybe like the Vanquisher, maybe I need the Vank Blade to just stay alive. Nah, just go for the elevator and try it. Like you'll be pleasantly surprised the kind of things you could and pull off with some Valk Warp going on. Like, I don't know, like it when I try to get people to play this deck, and I've seen them like, I see them like always kind of like trying to reach for something else. I'm like, no, just get the elevator. So just trust me, it works. So yeah, it's a fun deck. And then if all else fails, you just big Ikaria, charging 5/5 Aegis Warcry, that'll get the job done too. So yeah, that's the deck. Any questions?
No, I mean, Alex has been playing with it. I haven't quite jammed it yet. I've been playing some of your other brews and Expedition and whatnot and creation decks to try to test those out. So I'll definitely give this one a shot, though, for sure. And who knows, maybe you found another sleeper like you normally do.
I haven't jammed the Throne version, just the Expedition version, which probably even has edits at this point. But anytime you're going off with the elevator, that's super fun gameplay for you as the player.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Probably just worth it just for those things.
Yeah, you can like kind of meme off on your opponent,
It's really not just the warping the units. It's like them having charge out. Like it's just like it just comes out of nowhere. Like your opponent just gets caught off guard when it actually works every time.
Fair enough. Thanks, John. Appreciate you sharing that, man.
My pleasure. This is a fun one.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about Scion Drafting, please consider joining the Discord and asking us, because it is a really fun time. Honestly, it really is. I encourage you guys to do it at least once to see some of the broken things that you can do. There weren't too many people running Fun Police. In fact, most of the time, even when we lost, I was still impressed with what my opponent was doing. I think that's a lot of fun. You can catch us live every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday at twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ. Or, of course, we'll catch this video as well as many others at EternalJourney on YouTube. That's going to do it, guys. So until next time, as always, happy gaming.
Good night.
Good luck, everyone. And don't drop your phone and hit jams for your next draft.